Greetings and blessings, everyone. This is James Thomas Devitt from the Blue Star Spiritual Group. Today, I've just done an article for my group, and it's called Reflection. And I wanted to do a video on this because I feel that it's, well, it's really, really important. Reflection is very important in the sense that it enables us to see things that otherwise we might miss. For my New Year's resolution this year, it was very simple. My New Year's resolution was to do a reflection of my entire life. It kind of got thrown into a hiccup a little bit because on the 5th of January my father passed away. And that opened up other doorways that actually enabled me to reflect even at a greater depth. So I'd like to share with you a little bit of my reflection and why this is so important. Now, I do understand, and I'm a firm believer in the fact that we need to live in the moment, in the present moment. That's why they call it the present, because it's a gift. If we're living in the past or we're living in the future, we're not focused on what's going on today, now. Spirit might share things with us or put things in front of us for us to see that's going to benefit our path. And if we're thinking about the past or the future, we're going to more than likely miss it. But reflecting is different. You're not living in the past. Hindsight, there's an old saying, hindsight is 20/20. And that's very true. And through reflection, we're able to discern greater and figure out things in a much easier way. So I've discovered quite a bit about my life, which has enabled me to do some real deep reflecting and to determine different things. So this is the big one. My mother, in 1966, for whatever reason, told a lie. Don't know what it was, but the effect was major. She divorced my father when I was 2 years old, and it had to do with the lie that she told, and she told it to her friends. She told it to her parents. My father, to the day he passed away, was adamant that he had no idea of why she divorced him. I found out in 2005 that my sister is in fact my half-sister. We have different fathers. And I suspect that there's some of that involved in whatever this lie was. But apparently the lie was against my father and made him look very, very bad. And because of that lie, I got to see my father for a couple of hours at the age of 8, from what I've been told, although I don't remember that one, and for a couple of hours when I was 13, and then I saw him again at 18, and then I was 18 in 1982, and I didn't see my father from 1982 until the next time I spoke to him was in 2004, when I looked him up and found him, and we started communicating again. And then I went over, and my wife and I went over to Mena, Arkansas, and saw my father. And there was a lot about our relationship that we didn't have because I wasn't raised with him, and he didn't get to be really a part of my life. And he suffered for it. He ended up with a problem with alcohol for quite a long time, which he did sort that out and stop drinking and everything, but it did cost him quite a bit, and I was really screwed up from that and everything. Now, if you look at this on the surface, you think, "Oh man, that's horrible. Oh, I feel so bad for you." No, don't, because you see, there's a kicker to this. Had I been raised with my father, Had I had the opportunity to spend time with my father a lot growing up, then it's very likely that I would have ended up moving to Mena, Arkansas and living over there. Mind you, don't get me wrong, I would have loved living over there. It's beautiful. The people are wonderful and awesome. My dad was there. My stepmother is there. But it didn't happen. Because that didn't happen, I never felt at home. In Oklahoma, where I grew up, I never felt part of my family that I grew up with. My grandparents, my mother, my sister, and of course, growing up, I thought she was my full sister. I never knew that she was my half sister. I found that out in 2005 over in Arkansas from my dad and from other members of the family and stuff. So I found out that nowhere really felt like home, and so I ended up moving around a lot. Lived in Colorado, lived in Washington State several times, lived in Northern California, Southern California, lived on the Big Island of Hawaii for a year, was in the military, got to live in Germany for a year. So I've been a lot of different places in the States, and I've gotten to live in a lot of different places. But the reason is because no place felt like home. No place felt like I belonged. And then I met my wife. And that was on Valentine's Day of 1999, which strangely enough is my father's birthday. And I moved from Washington State to Australia in March of 2000. And on February 2nd, my wife and I got married. Which means that in just a couple of weeks' time, my wife and I are going to celebrate our 15th wedding anniversary. And to this day, I prefer to spend the day with her than with anybody else. And I don't care what I do, but as long as it's with her, I'm a happy man. When I first came to New Zealand in 2002, it was the first time that I actually said, wow, I'm home. This is where I belong. And now my wife and I have lived here in Wellington, New Zealand for over 5 years. And in fact, last Monday, I became a New Zealand citizen. None of this would have happened. None of it, if my mother had not told that lie in 1966. Because if I had been raised with my father, if I would have spent a lot of time with my father growing up, which my grandfather was adamant didn't happen, I would have been living in Mena, Arkansas, and I would have been married and had a family over there and doing the whole whatever I would have been doing. Instead, I've lived this incredible life, and to be honest with you, I was screwed up for a long time. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like any real part of me. I was literally killing myself, smoking and overeating. At one time, I weighed 165 kilos, over 350 pounds. I mean, I was not in good shape. But on May 28th that just passed was my 1-year anniversary of no smoking. So I'm healthier and happier than I've ever been in my life. But now it makes sense. See, Spirit works in strange ways that doesn't always make sense. And we have these experiences and we have these interactions with people, and we don't understand why they happen. But it's through reflection that it opens up these doorways and allows us the opportunity to see how we reached where we are, how we got there. Through reflection, I've been able to understand my life better. I was always different. My stepfather and I didn't get along. A lot of physical abuse, whatnot, for several years, and then my mom left him, and so I went through a lot of the stuff that volunteers go through: abuse, challenges left, right, and center. But if you stay the course, if you stay the path, if you stay true to who you are, stay true to your heart and to your guidance, eventually you emerge from the tunnel and you find yourself in the sunshine, and you find yourself on a path leading somewhere, and you never really realize that you are actually on your path to going somewhere, but you are. Reflection is a tool. Meditation is a tool. Journey work is a tool. Channeling is a tool. Tarot reading is a tool. Healings like Reiki, they are a tool. They're a tool to assist us on our path. But if you reflect over your life and you see how these different events that have occurred in your life, these different interactions that have occurred, has set you on the path that you're on today, has opened up these doorways that all of a sudden it's like you realize, you have this epiphany, if you will. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm around the people I need to be around. And then you start, once you understand why things have happened, once you understand where you come from, you understand where you are, you understand why you're where you are, all of a sudden you can begin to glimpse where you're headed. And if you can glimpse where you're headed, then you can start looking for the signs that are coming to you to help you move on that path, on that direction. I feel really excited about life. This has been a really challenging year for me so far. As I said, my father passed away January 5th. I then sent a letter to my sister and told her the big family secret. And created a situation where I ended up having to let her go completely. Not with any malice or ill regard or anything like that. I have great love for her and great love for my brother-in-law and their kids, and I wish them nothing but the best, but they never have felt like family. And I realized this wouldn't happen to everybody, but it happened to me. I found out with my father passing, I really got connected back in with my stepmother, Sally. She's an amazing woman in so many ways. And then I found out I have a stepsister. Her name is Carla, and she lives in Fort Smith. And she is amazing. And it's like losing my father, as horrible as that was, because I really wanted to be able to see him again. And it's not like we were expecting him to go. He didn't have like some big disease or anything like that. He passed from influenza, believe it or not. A little over a month before his 81st birthday. He was still going to the gym 3 days a week and playing golf and playing snooker, and But I'm not alone. I have a stepmother who loves me very much. I have a stepsister who loves me very much. Brother-in-law who's English. It's a little scary, but just joking. I have 2 great kids. And a wife that I love more than life itself. And through reflection, I've been able to discover that all the crap I went through, all the turmoil, all the torment, all of the feelings of feeling alone, feeling like I didn't belong, feeling like there was nowhere for me, it was all part of a much greater, grander plan to get me where I am today. And where I am today is in Wellington, New Zealand. I have my online group. I have made some amazing connections with people. I'm able to do my channelings publicly again after many years of doing them strictly for my wife and for certain friends. And doing readings again, which I haven't done for many years. And I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. And I feel as though I'm on the cusp of something much larger, much bigger. And I probably wouldn't know that without going through the archives, as it were, doing my reflection, figuring out where I come from, why things happened the way they did. I certainly don't have all the answers to things that have happened in my life. There are a lot of things that happened in my life that I'm unaware of. But the one thing I do know, and I know it from the depths of my heart, I'm moving forward. I grew up as a Christian. I used to use the word God quite a bit. And for many years, I had real issues around Christianity and religion as a whole. And so I basically always would use the word source to refer to God. Part of the change that's happened in me is I now use the big G word again. God. And I know from the bottom of my heart that everything that I do in my life is in service to God and in service to this planet and in service to every single person on this planet, whether they believe it or not, whether they realize it or not, whether they know it or not, doesn't matter. That's who I am. That's the path I walk. Through reflection, I found out that the abuse I went through and the crap I went through taught me compassion, taught me tolerance, taught me patience. The feelings of not belonging, the feelings of I don't belong in this family, I don't belong in this place, I don't belong, I don't have a home, taught me this planet is my home. Every single one of you that's watching this video right now, or every single person that's not watching this video, every single person that's watching this video 2 years from now, and there will be those who will watch this video 2 years from now, guarantee it. You're my family. I discovered there's so much more going on than meets the eye. I discovered that I'm part of something grand, more grand than you can possibly imagine. You hear religious people talking about God's plan. You're right, God has a plan, and it's working right now. It might surprise you. You might not believe what's on offer, what's in store, what's coming our way, what's actually already here. But through reflection, I've discovered a great deal about not only who I am, what I am, where I've been, why I'm here right now in this place, around these people, why I've met the people that I've met online who are now part of an organization, of a group that is growing. I reckon by the end of the week our group will be over 400 people. I've been told it'll end up being well over 1,000 people, and I think it'll grow even further than that. Not because I'm special, but because it's about God. It's about each one of us on our path, individually, but collectively. See, that's the paradox. We are each unique individuals that is part of the whole. Everything I do contributes to the whole. Everything my wife does contributes to the whole. Everything everyone does contributes to the whole. This is an amazing time to be on planet Earth. It's an amazing time to be alive. I give thanks for every single person that has helped me on my journey, the good and the bad. You've helped not only get me to where I am today, you've helped shape me into the person I am today. As I said, at one time in my life, I did not like who I was. I didn't love myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't really give a damn because I didn't care. Today I do love who I am. I appreciate who I am. I honor myself. My hope is that each one of you honors yourself, blesses yourself. Every day, honor yourself in some way. Do a reflection of your life. Discover why you are where you are today, where you're headed. You might be surprised. Very soon we'll be doing another channeling with Tobin. If you'd like to come and check out The Way Spiritual Philosophy through Facebook, we'd love to have you. There are many who offer free readings regularly, and the gathering has begun. The call has gone out. The gathering has begun. It's time. I give you my blessings in peace and love. May each step you take be blessed by the love of God that is within you.